Alright, welcome back out finally. It took me a bit to get out here today, but I've come out and I'm just tinkering at the moment, just cleaning up a little bit, because this sat like this for a week and a half now. I'm still trying to catch my breath, sorry. It's cold as hell. I've got the air conditioner on, you can hear that noisy shit in the background. So, yeah, I'm going to try and get something done today. Let me just turn you around. I'm going to start cutting that. I might cut that and try and get it mounted today. I've got a copper hammer that I'm going to put up on the mill. So I'm not using the bloody steel hammer to knock my drawbar down. As you can see, starting to mushroom. Copper hammer like it's supposed to. The next size up would have been handy, but they're just, next size up is over $100, and I just don't have the funds at the moment. So I have a little bit of, I mean, I know it doesn't look like I've cleaned up in here, but trust me, I have. So I've been having a bit of a think with this. What I'm going to do, I was going to use it like as an earth switch, but it's going to be it's not going to work, because it'll end up just burning out the switch. Because as you would have seen in the last video when I tested it, when you touch that you get quite a spark. So I've got a stack of little 12 volt relays there. I'm going to use a relay because it's only 12 volts, and I've got two outlets, two 12 volt outlets. Positive, negative, negative, positive. So I'm just going to use those, one to run a relay and one to run this. So, and having other thoughts too, I'm thinking about just permanently fixing this side, because looking at it and the way it operates, it's going to be far easier and far safer to cut the, get this bloody tripod out of the way. Cut the wire from this side, because I know it's still dangerous, but if you don't put your fingers near it, you know, and as I said, Dion's not an idiot, so you know, so like they say before, guards are for idiots. So we're going to try and sort that. So I'm just going to tinker. When I've drawn up, I'll measure this. I'll measure it and work out roughly what size I need, and I'll mark this out. I might even put you in the tripod while I mark it. And I still, every time I look at it, I shake my head, because those that follow me know that I would have cut that piece out to make the drain for coolant on my lathe. And to this day, I still cannot fathom why I cut it there in the middle of nowhere. Why would a reasonable person would have put it over on that edge and down that bottom edge there, so you're only just sort of wasting a little bit in the corner. So yeah, I don't know, it's beyond me at the moment. You know, I might even get away with that piece there, I was thinking, because it's got that lip in it. But anyway, we'll see. Just let me sort a few things out and we'll put you in the stand and we'll have a bit more of a play, eh? Stay tuned. Okay, I've cut it out. This, you know, everyone's seen somebody bloody measure out a square and cut it out, but that's how it's going to go. I just had to use one of these blades just to straighten it up. It wasn't quite 100% straight, and make it so that slides really easy. It's got to slide easy, because that solenoid will have more than enough power to pull it out, but that little return spring needs to have enough to push it back again. So, I mean, it's not going to do that, obviously. And I might I've left a little bit, because where it'll stop is about there. And it'll come 35 mil further in from there. Let me find where I put my 6-inch rule. I had it, there it is. Here's another lesson. when you're welding, keep your precision measuring bloody tools away from the bench. And you see all the spatter on that. I can't find the other one. The other one's around here somewhere. So yeah, but see, that's about, well, it'll rest about there, about 15 mil in. So we've got 35 mil of travel. So that'll come into 50. So it'll come to about there. That's more than enough to stop the cans from falling through. So I haven't got any empty cans out here at the moment. I squashed them all the other day. But what I'll do is, as I'm doing, I'll put the cage back in, the cassette, the cartridge, whatever you want to call it. Put that back in and sit a can in there and make sure. It should be fine. It's going to stop it. It won't be a problem at all. The only thing I've got to work out, with the help of you guys, is mounting this. Now I'm thinking I've left enough on this so I can bend this, I can straighten that, or even just cut that off and bend it over enough that I can drill a hole in it to fit that through. That'll come out. I was going to undo that lock on the end there, and that'll come straight out of the guts of it. Put that through and then put the spring on it, so the spring itself will be pushing up against this. Whoops, sorry, moving finger. We'll be pushing up against that. Worst case scenario is I know it's going to have more than enough power to collapse that. I'll just find a slightly heavier spring. They're easy enough to find. I might even have some here somewhere down in amongst that. Anybody want a piston? In amongst, I think it's in that red toolbox there. I think I've got some compression springs. I know I've got extension springs in there, but compression springs. So I might even assist. I have got, as I said, I've got some soft extension springs that I could even put on here just to help pull it back into place, because they're not real firm, and I know this is going to have more than enough power to pull it. Judging by the way it jumps and bangs and carries on. So I might even do that to assist if it won't work. It's not going to take much. So I'm going to, what I'll probably do is cut that off, work out how much I'm going to need. My little bending machine up there, I don't know whether it'll take that steel. I'll have a look, I'll measure it. It'll take 1.2. I might be able to push it a little bit, but just give me a second, I'll put you in the stand and we'll have another look. Okay, I went and got myself a can. I've got that sitting in there. I'll put that off, clean these up a little bit too, cut all the extra bits off it, and I don't know, I don't like the look of it, but it'll be functional, but I don't know. Once it's cleaned up and painted, it'll probably look better. So I might even just give it a quick hit with black paint and see how it looks. And then later on I'll just sandblast it and redo it, or I might even powder coat it. I think I'll powder coat it. That'll look a lot better. But anyway, that's in there. That's as far as that'll close over. So let's start him up. And there we go. So that'll work fine. The way I'm going to make that is once it's not operating, when it's not operating, it will when it's not operating, that'll stay like that. So I'll put a switch on the limit. I'll just switch between the limit and earth. So whatever, just cutting wire, you're not going to have chink, 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 chink. So what'll happen is that'll go there. There we go. So I'll just do this. Although I have spotted another issue. I don't know whether anyone else just saw it. Let me turn that off. Where this comes all the way back, just let me change hands for a second. Now that's back as far as it goes. Can anyone else see the issue? Yeah, if the can sits up against here, up against this side, it's going to sit on top of that and it's going to fall down crooked. Now I've made that So that comes out quite easy. I've made that to take Monster Energy cans, well, energy drink cans, and I think that's fine, but what I might do is just put a guide in here to bring it so it comes past the end here. Design flaw, yeah. Well done, Kayan. Anyway, no, I don't want to change this because it'll be off. It'll look off. So either that, or I'll probably just get the shits and make one out of that blue steel that I cut that out of, and make it so that it does the job properly. I think I might even do that. Like I said, I don't like the way that looks. I don't know. I mean, ultimately it only needs to be functional, but, and I mean, you know, like I don't really, I can't really, well, don't want to be overly perfectionist, but I still want it to look good. Yeah, I might do that. I might take that, make something out of that and just cut a couple of holes in it so you can see where the cans are. I don't like that. That's not good. That's not good. I don't know why I did that. I know why I did that, because I think I made it to come down to here, and if it was down to there, that would probably clear. But that for symmetry, I put these locating pins there. So if I do another one, I can take those, I can reuse those pins and put them in the right spot. I think that's what I'll do. But I want to get this gate working first, so let me fiddle. I'll get that up on the bench and work out what I'm going to do. Okay, I've done this. I've had it back together, but then I pulled it apart again. I took a bit to get apart because where's the bloody lock nut? Oh, there it is. It was Loctite it on, so. But to mount it, these tiny ass holes, I think they're M4 or M3. I'm going to drill them out and tap an M6 and just cut these bolts down. I'm going to do the 4 corners. I don't want to try that, and I'm going to do it up in the mill. I don't want to try and do it by hand or in that stupid drill press, because if the drill bites and pulls through, it's going to cut into the coil and it'll be useless. So I can very carefully control it up on the mill. So let me go and set that up and we'll go and have a look. Righto, that's, I didn't have that very tight either. Alright, now let's take it down and see if we can gently tap these holes out. Righto, I'll get it started with the taper. Just let me try and centre that a little bit better. There we go. Just to get it started, I can't go all the way through obviously. Just so I can get the plug tab in. I'm going to have to keep an eye on it because, and I'm going to do it dry. Yeah, it's going to be dodgy because, I don't know, still clears it, but I'm just having trouble stabilising that bloody tap. It's not hitting, but I'm going to take it out there. Oh, that's shit steel, that. And now it won't let go of the tap. Lovely. Usually you can't keep the damn thing. You can't keep the damn thing tight, it keeps coming loose. Come on. Right, let's see. I know my big paw's in the way, but come on. There we go. Just very careful, because there's a chance could even strip that out, because it's only soft shitty steel, as usual when you buy these cheap eBay made in China stuff. But seriously, where in Australia would they make these? Nowhere. There we go. And it screws in. I've just got to cut them off, obviously, once I work out what steel I'm going to use for the bracket and how I'm going to mount that bracket. I'm thinking I might even see if I've got a couple more of these 6mm and I'll make a bracket out of the similar stuff. They're the same as the slide, and make it adjustable, so I can adjust it up and down, just so I'll get this perfect. This has got to be, you can't have it at an angle because it's just not going to work. So let me tap the rest of these and I'll bring you back. Righto, all tapped. They screw in fine. They look relatively straight. Well, they are straight. The last 3 holes I just did with a plug tap, because trying to get that one to start, the thing was rocking too much and it was going to create problems, so I just used the plug tap to go through the last lot. What I'm going to do now is reassemble it, get it sitting up in the machine, and then measure it up for some brackets. So I'm going to make it so that it's adjustable both ways, this way and up and down as well. It's like this. I made that adjustable. It'll only ever be probably moved once, but for the sake of doing it right, like without having to go take it off, well, I already did have to pull it apart half a dozen times, but yeah, so I'll get this in the right position. Like I said, over-engineered, but it's better to be over-engineered and have it work. So I'm going to do the same with this. I'm going to cut slots. Don't ask me how I'm going to do it. I could probably do it with the die grinder, but it wanders all over the bloody place. It's going to be too thin to do in the mill. I might make it out of some 3mm. I think that's going to be a lot better, eh? Let me see what material I've got. I'll grab something and we'll come back. Righto, I've got a couple of bits of 3mm cut out. And before I weld that onto that, I was going to cut a piece and then bend it, but there wasn't enough length. So I took a bit off the side I'll just weld it, that'll be fine. You're not even going to see that underneath. Weld him on like that. But what I'm going to go do first is take it up and put the slots in it, in the mill while I can. I've got a couple of 8mm, so 2 8mm bolts will be plenty. And I don't think I was going to brace it, but I won't need to, really. That won't need bracing, so I'm going to go put my slots in here. I'll take you up there anyway when I'm ready to go. And I might do them both first. So I'll mark them out, get them up there, and we'll get ready to party. Righto, I'm going to do this one first. And just to give it clearance, I found that end mill has been radiused. It's a little bit blunt, but it doesn't matter. I'm only going to go down, drill a hole. It's I think it's 5. That's 5mm. That's what I used to tap. I'll drill it first, and I'll run that through, and then slot it. That's 8mm. That'll give a little bit of clearance. And the other one, because they're 8mm, that's a 10mm slot drill. I do have a 10mm end mill here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So idea. I don't know what I've done to it. I really don't know. Be like everything else, I lose it somewhere. So I'll time lapse this more than likely. So I'll start doing this. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Righto, that's that one done. Jesus. Lucky they're clearance holes. It's all over the place. Like a mad woman's breakfast. Yeah, let's see how we go for the other one. Might have to tighten that up, take those out. Now, so there we go. Okay, clean this up. Righto, I've got this bolted on. Those holes are shocking. Lucky they're going to be underneath and you won't be able to see them. That mill, truly, I know I've waffled on about that bloody mill before, but it seriously is a piece of shit. So what I've got to do now is put that in like that. See, we have a problem. Oh no. Yes, we do. Houston, we have a problem. It's not much, I just got to take a little bit off this bracket here. It's too high by a couple of mil, so I might just take 5 mil off that. And we'll try it again, so I can mark that and drill it and tap it. I think once I've done that, then I'm going to call it a day. So let me sort this out and I'll bring you back, just 2 seconds. Righto, I've got it bolted up. I didn't video a whole lot because I had a bit of a meltdown, then I was throwing things. I won't show you what I did, but and my nerves are shot, but this will soon, so I haven't tested this yet. This is you with you and me. Let's see how she goes. Where am I? Oh, look at that. Look. That slams back a little bit, but I like that. As I said, your duty cycle is only a few seconds. You've got to be real. I'm happy. At least something's gone well today. So, there we go. I'm just wondering, this has got a O-ring here just to soften it. Wondering if I could do the same here. I might see if I can get an O-ring. Just to take that jar out of it. I mean, I know it's designed to do it, but it should be fine. Should be okay. So that's a bonus. I'm happy now. So that's how that gate's going to work, obviously. I need it to go back in more so than coming out. Still got to be quick either way. I think that'll be fine. That'll be fine. That's running nice, and that's how I wanted it. Look at that. Well, that's going to help come back out tomorrow, because I've had a win. All I've got to do, as you can see, I've got to cut those bolts off. I don't know if you can see in there, it's a bit dark. Just cut those bolts off that hold this bracket on. That doesn't move at all, so, you know. Put this back on, bolt it down. Oh, I've created a problem. I'll work it out tomorrow. Oh no, I might be able to get it. Just the hole for the bolt on this bottom piece here, it's right in between the two bolts there, so that'll be fine. Worst case scenario is I've got some M8 dome head socket cap screws. That'll do the job. I'm sure I've got some somewhere here. This one under here, I don't know if, let me, so you see those holes, those bolts there. I found some 6mm dome head socket cap screws. So that's what I put in that. It looks a little bit neater and tidier. So I'll probably do the same there. I do have some in amongst all of that stuff in there. I do know I have some. I have some possibly up in amongst all that. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll get this in now. I'm going to go, it's after lunch, so I'm going to go and have some lunch. And I'll get this video uploaded. I'm gonna try not to do videos any more than about 20-25 minutes if I can help it, because I don't know, I guess the numbers speak for themselves. Yeah. Those of you that mess around a bit with YouTube will know, if you go into the analytics and you look at the view time, that's quite depressing. But it is what it is, you know. I do this more for my benefit than anyone else's. Those of you that do hang around, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you've hung around this long, just leave a comment down below. Just say hi, I don't know, kiss my ass, do something, but just so I know that some people do actually watch it through. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do a thumbnail. I'm going to take a photo of this. This will be my thumbnail today. And then tomorrow, no, tomorrow I won't be, because I've got to go and get my tax done tomorrow. Wednesday, I will bolt that back on, see if I can find a limit switch somewhere here. I'm pretty sure I've got one, and hook up a relay, and we'll test it, see if we can get it to run in what I'll call can mode, and have this gate operating as well. So and I might give it a bit of a run and sort of test its longevity. You know, it's the only thing like I said, I'm concerned about is how fast that comes back. It slams, bang, bang. An O-ring will fix that, I think. O-ring or a little bit of rubber. I'm sure I've got some insertion rubber here somewhere. Just a little tiny piece of rubber, that's all it needs. Just to take that, absorb just that little tiny bit of shock. So you've got to come back, so you see where I marked those lines. That's that line, that closest one here, that's the one where it's got to come back to clear the cassette. So, alright folks, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to have something to eat and work on this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Peace.